Hello everyone, today I'm going to explain LeetCode SQL Solutions, the number of employees which report to each employee. Let's understand the problems first together. For this problem, we'll consider a manager and an employee who has at least one other employee reporting to them. Write a solution to report the ID. We have to report the ID of the name of all the managers and the number of employees who directly report to them, and the average age and average of the report rounded to nearest integer. So this is also one condition we have to keep in mind, and we have to also return the result table ordered by employee ID. So this is the second condition. Let's understand the examples below. For example, there is name Alice and Bob, who is an employee. They have to report to employee ID 9, which is Hersey. So, but Hersey, on the other hand, and Winston and Hersey doesn't have to report to anyone, so they are null. So what we have to do, we have to find only this part. Yeah, this part of it. So what we have to get, the employee ID of this one, and we have to find name of the manager. So manager is Hersey, so Hersey is here, and reports count, they are 2. I'm gonna call it a different one. They are 2, so report count 2 is this one. And lastly, average age is, so 41 plus 36 is 77. If you divide it by 2, it's gonna be 38.5. If you round it, it's gonna be 39. So here average age will be here of an employee. So that's the explanation of below. Let's follow together of the second examples together. Also, let's erase it. I'm gonna erase it to make it more you guys clear. So for example, Alice and Bob have to report to the report employee ID number 1, which is Michael. So here, and Charlie and David also have to report to Alice, which is 2, and Eve also have to report to 3, which is Bob. And except them, they have no manager to report. So this is what we have to get. So employee ID 1, 2, 3, which is here, and the name of it, 1 was Michael, and 2 was Alice, and 3 was Bob. So their name is here, and their count is so Michael has 2, and Alice has 2, and Bob has 1. So here reports count, and their average age, you can calculate it. You have to calculate this one divided by 2. This I'm gonna call it different. So you have to divide this one with 2 and this one with 2, and you can just write it down, this one. Same, so average age is gonna be like that, like this. Yeah, so that's the examples are explained. So we understand the problem first. So let's find out how to convert this problem to solve this problem as a query. So how we gonna approach this problem? What do you guys think? What I think personally, what is a little bit difficult, how to find, our consideration is how to find the filter, how to find filter who has manager to report. So for example, Alice and Bob has a report to Hersey, so we have to find the manager. So how are we gonna find the manager? That's the real question. And how we gonna get also a report count, and how to get average age. So average age, I think this is the two main difficult thing to solve this problem. So what we're gonna approach, I think in here we can approach using inner join, and we're gonna connect to reports to and to employee ID. What I'm gonna say, we have to connect this one, and we're gonna use it like a self-join. So I'm gonna explain more specifically. So let me erase it here. So what I'm gonna do, for example, I'm gonna do write this. I'm gonna write it down all again. I want to show you guys what's the result of an inner join and how we're gonna solve this problem. So I will write it down. It's quite sorry, it's quite difficult, but yep, so like this. Yeah, for example, for the employee table, there is employee ID. I'm gonna write it down more smaller. There is name, and there's reports to and age. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write it down all again to make you guys more understand clear. Winston, so null 99 null, so age 43, 41, 36, 37. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna inner join it. I'm gonna use the key as report to, and I'm gonna self join of this one. So if you do inner join, or you can use left join if you want, but I prefer inner join. So if you do the inner join, it will be a report like this. So it's gonna be employee ID, also name, also reports to age. So it's gonna be looks like this. So reports to 9, if you connect to this one, employee ID, it's gonna be, you just get this one, and it's gonna be Hersey, and report to, Hersey has no reports to, and his age is 43. And I think if it's inner join, there will be no like this. Yeah. So that's what we wanted to do. So if you want to print like this one, I'm gonna print employee ID of, I'm gonna color it different. I wanted to do find employee ID here. I'm gonna write it down here. So we're gonna group by also Hersey here. And I'm gonna here write it down and use different color. So reports count, maybe we can count the employee ID of it. So an average age, we're gonna use this one. I'm gonna use different colors. This one. So I'm gonna solve this problem like this. I think it is better to understand the query on the PC screen together. So let's move on to write the query together. So let's write the query together. First, what I'm gonna do, as I explained earlier, so we want to do inner join to find out the manager who has to report to. So I'm gonna use inner join first. So select from, I'm gonna use employees table, and I want to inner join the self join. We call it self join like this, even if the same table. So inner join. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use E1 dot reports to and E2 dot employee ID. So let's see the result together, and it will much easier to approach to solve this problem. E2 doesn't exist. Oh, sorry. We have to also specify the column like this. So if you write the query like this, you can see there's employees 1, 2, 3, 4. There's employee of the information, and this is the information about the manager, I think. So if you want to really want to clarify, I want to make it like this. You can also use it like E, and this is gonna be like a manager table. So I'm gonna call it M. So E dot reports to and M dot employee ID. If it's more clarified for you, you can alias what you guys want. So I'm gonna call it this table as manager because it's information about the manager. So yeah, so we did it like this. And second part, what we're gonna do, I think we have to do group by and count, and we use average function to calculate the average age. So why we use group by, you can think of it because we have to count something, and as you can see, it is group by employee ID and name, and you also have to aggregate something. So you can think of it, oh, we have to approach it by group by. So in here, I'm gonna use group by. So what we have to group by, we have to group by it first, managers, I think employee ID, and we're gonna also group by manager's name because that is what we want on the managers. On the result table, we want the manager's information. So I'm gonna also do it like this. And also what we have to do, we have to count something. We have to count something of the employees. So what I'm gonna do, I just wanted to clarify. So you can write employees, so employee ID. That's what we want. And I'm gonna call it reports count as result want. And also we have to get the average age. We have to get the average age. You can use average function, but I'm gonna show you guys more basic one, and I'm gonna use average. So you can use sum. What we have to sum? We have to sum of the employees. So e dot age. And if you count it by the whole thing, and is call it average age, it's gonna show you average age. So let's just see the result together on the process, how it's going well. So as you can see, it's a printed employee ID of the manager, of name and report count and average age. What is a little bit different from the result, they required us to round it, the average age, onto int. So I'm gonna use round function, and I'm gonna just do it like this. And also last condition is we have to also order by it by employee ID. That's what problems want. But this employee ID is of the manager employee ID. So this is the whole query of what we finished. So let's run the code. Yeah, it accepted successfully, and I'm gonna submit the code. Yeah, it passes. Congratulations. On the other hand, I show you the basic one to use sum and count to make an average, but also you guys can use average function. It automatically calculated the average, so you can just write it like this. It's also the same. Yeah, if you submit the code, yeah, it's also the same. So I'm gonna organize the key point and finish this video. Let's move on to the key point section. So what do you guys think of the main key point of this problem? What was the difficult thing to solve it? Personally, as for me, what was difficult, I'm gonna write down more stronger. What was difficult for me first was how to find the manager information. Because what we have to find was the manager information. So how we gonna find? Only just use one table using employee table name. So what we solved it approach was self-join, and we connected on reports to, we connect to employee ID of the manager. I think this is the first step, and the second step is much easier. So how to find the count of the report, and how to find average age of employee. So it's much easier. We just use group by, and for the counts of the reports, we use counts of employee ID, and also we use average function, or also you can just sum of count everything. It's also same of the age. of the age. So I think this is the first one. How to find the major information using self-join is the main key point of this problem, and keep in mind. I think if you meet this kind of problems again, I think you guys can solve it to think of it self-join again. I think this is the whole key point of this problem. Thank you for watching this video.